known as the light. Ignore my pimple on my forehead. I look a little rough today because I had to work today. And then after work, I had to go look for an outfit because I'm going to go to this funeral tomorrow. Hey, Trey. I got a lot to vent about tonight, guys. Oh my God. But I can't stay on too long tonight. Probably maybe 2 hours. I can stay on here to max maybe because I need to do my hair over. My hair is so dirty from Mexico. Hey, Paradigm. But yeah. So crazy. I have a lot to talk about though. I'm just waiting for some more people to come in the chat. Click like on the chat if you can. Thank you for joining. Can y'all hear me good? Hopefully y'all can hear me. Hey, JD. Hey, Real. How are you? Hey, London. Oh God, I have so much tea. Like my head is spinning. Like I'm really shocked I didn't get fired today. I couldn't take it anymore, guys. I can't take it anymore. I really think I'm gonna end up quitting before I find a new job. And if I have to starve for a little bit, I'm willing to do that. If I gotta apply for food stamps, I will try to do that because I cannot stay at this job, guys. I'm gonna need y'all to really send donations in until I get another job. I'm gonna need y'all to book those phone sessions because I got to get the out of this job. They have lost their damn mind, okay? And the crazy thing about it was I was not supposed to be at work today. I should have never went into work. But I just got back from Mexico and I went to work yesterday. So I got back Wednesday night from Mexico and then they put me on a schedule for Friday. So I went into work yesterday and it was a beautiful day. I had a great day back, right? I'm on the shift with my favorite manager, you know, the coworkers that I'm cool with, you know, the customers, nobody is tripping. It was just too good to be true. It was like one of those days I was just like, wow, I just got back. It was such a great day. You know, the weather was beautiful in New York. It's just like that nice, warm, like sexy weather, you know? And then I just, you know, I go home, get me some food, and I'm like, all right, cool. But when I was at work, a coworker was like, listen, my husband and I have a family event tomorrow. Can you work the shift for me tomorrow from 12 to 5 p.m.? And I'm like, oh, 12 to 5, that's not bad. And I thought about it, but something in my spirit was like, don't work this shift. But I'm like, I just got back from Mexico. I spent like fucking $800. I have bills coming. You know, I'm just in my head like, oh, you know what? Let me just pick up a shift. You know, let me pick up a shift. You know, it wasn't worth it. So matter of fact, I even overslept this morning and I had to take an Uber to get to work. I was a little late, but I got there. And when I got there, they didn't even realize that I was covering for the girl that couldn't work. So whatever, and another thing was weird. I called to let them know I'll be late and the phones were down at work. And I was like, what the hell? What is going on? Like, it was just so much weird energy from the time I woke up. I actually woke up at 7:30 at first, which is crazy because I was on the phone with a friend of mine who's in town for the funeral. The funeral's tomorrow for the girl that passed away. I think some of you who know that. So I was on the phone till like maybe 3 o'clock in the morning with a friend I grew up with. And I said, listen, I got to go to sleep because I need to wake up at least by 9:30 to be to work by 12. And he's like, all right, cool. So we hung up, I knock out, and then I wake up first at 7:30 a.m. And I'm like, oh, okay, I got 2 more hours to sleep. Guys, why I woke up at 11:30 a.m. and my alarm never went off is why? Because I was never supposed to fucking be there today, okay? Anyway, so I like run in the bathroom, I take my shower, I get ready, and I call an Uber, I get to work. Like around 12:15, I'm walking into work. and nobody even noticed. I'm like, all right, whatever. So this manager, I told y'all about her before. She is a white woman, and I have a problem with her. Nobody likes her. She has a very nasty demeanor. She talks down to people. She talks to people like slaves. She pick and chooses who she's kind to, and I don't fuck with her. Okay, I pretty much avoid her. She even talks to the customers like she's lost her damn mind, and she also was very inappropriate with me because she came to me one day and was like, "Hey, I heard you were spiritual. Do you know any psychic readers?" That's unprofessional. First of all, you don't go to your employees and asking like, "Do I know psychics?" You know, that's like, we're not cool like that, like for you to come to me. So ever since then, like, I never gave her no psychic information or whatever. So I don't know if she's held that against me, but we've been okay. Like, we talk or whatever, not like outside conversations, but we only talk about business pretty much. But she never gave me no like real attitude. But I noticed that lately she's been getting very feisty. So basically, she feels like if there's no customers, she wants us to like go find something to do some extra work in another department. And I'm like, why? And then when I go to another department, you're calling me back to my department, to do work. Another thing is, no one says anything to me when I'm left alone in the department to run it by myself, right? So today, it was me and another coworker, and there was no customers, and it probably was maybe quiet for, I don't know, 5 minutes max. So she comes out the office and she sees us talking. So usually I don't talk to my coworkers in front of a customer. I wait until the customer leaves and then we'll talk about something. So she comes out the office and she's like, "Oh, can one of y'all go to a different department because y'all just standing there talking?" And I'm like, "What?" So me and her look at each other. We just like, we literally both just were helping someone. Like, what the fuck is wrong with her? So I look and I'm like, well, it's only two of us here to run the department. So you want her to run the department by herself? And she was just like, well, I don't want y'all just standing there talking to each other. And I'm like, yo, what is going on with her? Like, she does this every shift. I don't have this issue with no other managers, especially the men. The men, I love working with the men. And managers. There's no attitude. They tell you, "Oh, do this, do that. We good. We're going to get out of here. Do your work, whatever." That's it. It's smooth. It's only this manager. Also, coworkers are coming to me telling me things like, "I hate her. I'm quitting because of her." So the girl that I was working with today, she put in her 2 weeks. She was like, "I can't stand that bitch. I put in my 2 weeks. I found another job at a diner. I'm getting mad tips. I'm out of here. I got today and I got Monday." She said she don't even want her hours for Monday. She was like, "Yo, you want my hours?" I said, "Hell no. I got 4 days next week. I'm not working at this job for 5 days in a row. No, absolutely not." She was like, "Damn, I'm going to try to give my hours to somebody else. I want to actually make today my last day." And I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. So maybe like another hour into my shift, that's when the assistant manager, she's like, "Oh, Angelique, come in the office. We need to talk." And I'm like, oh God, they on that bullshit. Okay. So I go in the office. It's assistant manager who, she talks shit about me, and all the coworkers come back and tell me. Now, let me tell you something. When you a chosen one, tired of all these damn jobs, right? How long do you think you could last? Probably to like May. I think I could last maybe to May. I'm gonna be real with you. Smoke weed before you work. Unfortunately, my body don't like weed. It don't like weed. When I smoke weed or take edibles, it literally puts me in like another dimension. Like, I'm not completely myself. I wouldn't even be able to do a shift. That's another thing. All of the male coworkers go in their car during break and smoke. Like, this job literally makes people smoke while they're at the job. Like, the security dude, when I went outside for my break today, the security dude is like turning the corner smoking a blunt. And I'm just looking at him like, yo, this job got you smoking, homie? Like, are you serious? All of the men come back, or they'll disappear and come back smelling like weed. Like, they cannot get through this shift without smoking, right? Everybody smokes at your job. Yeah, unfortunately, I cannot handle weed. So anyway, so they bring me in the office and I sit down. So there's a male manager, who's a black guy, and he's a fucking coon. I told y'all about him. And then it's the white lady, the bitch ass manager, and then it's the kiss ass assistant manager. She's to my right. So the coon, he starts talking, and he's just like, oh, we need everybody to pull in, if we need you to be in this department and that department and this department and do this and do that, that's what we need you to do. And I'm just looking at him, I'm just letting him talk, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then the bitch ass manager, she's just like, well, I was told that you said you wasn't going to do what I asked you to do. Is that true? I said, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say anything. So basically, the snitch ass, kiss ass assistant manager, she went and told the white lady that I said that I wasn't going to do something that that particular manager, the bitch ass manager, asked me and the other girl to do. Now, what happened was, the bitch ass manager, she asked me to go to another department to do some work, right? I didn't say anything. When she said that, I was silent, and I looked at the other girl, and she only got 2 days left. So in her head, she's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it, right? I didn't say anything. I just stood there. I didn't say anything at all. So when she went back to the office, I asked the assistant manager, I said, let me ask you a question. I said, they already sent one person on break. They sent the other guy to another department. I said, are y'all overstaffed today? Because if you're overstaffed, I came in to cover someone's shift. I have a funeral to go to tomorrow. I have things to pick up. If you want me to leave, I'll leave. I don't have to stay the whole day. And she was like, huh, what do you mean? I was just like, because she's trying to send 3 people to other departments. Who's going to run our department if we're not here? So if you're overstaffed, you can let me go so she can stay, finish her shift. And then the other guy, he's already, at another department. Like, this is what I'm thinking in my head. This is like, is this logical to you guys, right? Why would she tell 3 people to leave our department and go to other departments to help them? Huh? She doesn't call them to come help us, right? So she's a snitch ass bitch. She goes, tells that manager, and that's why they call me and that other girl into the office, pretty much. So let me tell you, when you are chosen one, right, you have so much influence, right? They get scared because they feel like you're influencing other coworkers. They feel like your words are so powerful, or how you move and how you stand on business is going to basically ruin their manipulation tactics, right? So she lied. I never said I wasn't going to do it. I just completely went silent, okay? But the words, I'm not going to do it, never came out of my mouth, right? I guess me standing there and not doing it was enough, pretty much, right? So when I went into the office, she was like, yeah, I heard that you said you wasn't going to do what I said. I didn't say that. And the bad thing is they have cameras, but there's no sound to the camera. Because if so, I would have said, why don't you just play back the security tape? Why don't you just listen to what was said to me? Now, I'm not a snitch ass bitch. It was the other girl. She said, I ain't doing it. She said that. That came out of her mouth. So she took her words and said it was me that said it. Now, here's what's funny. The other girl, when she went in the office, they told her she said the same thing, right? And I said, what did you tell him? She said, I told him I said it. I said, of course she's going to say that she said it because she was the one that said it. I didn't say it. I know it's very confusing, basically. So while I'm in there, they're telling me, oh, you can't just say certain things because it's going to influence other people. And I told the girl what they said. She was like, wait, what do they think? That I'm stupid? They think that none of us can think for ourselves. But this is what these environments, these work environments do think. This is why when the chosen one gets into that work environment, they want your ass out. They don't want you in there, guys. They don't want you in there because they feel like you're exposing them. Now, I let it out. I let it out, guys. I was just like, yeah, after today, they gonna be trying to fire me anyway. So I better go ahead and put my 2 weeks in. I said, why is it that everyone has a problem with you? Why is it that I don't have no problem with any other manager on a shift? Yo, this white lady turned red. The black coon dude, he was in his seat like, he's looking at him. He's trying not to laugh. He was playing devil's advocate. He took my side and he took their side. All right. He's a Cancer. So he not gangster like that. He was playing devil's advocate. He was in his seat like, look, he was rocking back and forth. He was trying not to laugh because I'm sure he's heard this before. I said, what is the problem? Why do you speak to people like you're speaking down to them? Why do you have to be so aggressive? I said, energy is energy exchange. So you're putting that energy out and you're getting that back. So when you are saying to people in a nasty way or nasty tone, you're being aggressive and you're making the environment hostile. As a manager, you don't have to make the environment hostile to get your employees to do what they need to do. Why do you do that? Oh, I'm sorry. I love y'all, my white followers. I love you, but y'all know how there's Karens out there. So she started her victimization bullshit. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to come off like that. Stop the press, ladies. Stop it. Stop it. Why do you have to talk down? She even talks to customers crazy. And that's why she got cursed out. And a man was about to come over the counter on her that she walked away because she got shook. You do not have to speak nasty to people to show your authority. You don't have to do that. And I said, you know what? I said, you saying that you heard what I say out loud. What I say it out loud so you can hear it. But I want you to know, employees are coming to me and they're telling me what you're saying about me behind my back. And they're coming to me and telling me what you're saying behind my back. And the coon dude, he's over there like, and then he said, no, well, there's no managers talking to other employees about other employees. I said, so how am I getting this information? How am I getting this information? I said, it is not a respectful environment. So you're saying I'm disrespecting you by responding to your energy, but you're disrespecting us by the way that you're talking to us, and you're talking behind your own employees' backs. And it's getting to me. Let me fucking tell y'all something, guys. Excuse my language. When you are a chosen one, people are going to come to you to warn you. All right, it's kind of like in the Bible, the Philistines are coming, the Philistines are coming. You're going to get message about everything. I said to him, nobody here is my friend. I said, but people are coming to me. They're going out of their way to tell me what y'all are saying. I don't have to ask nobody. When you're a chosen one, you may think you're not protected, but you are protected. These people, why is it 5? And these are kids. I'm 40 years old. Most of these people who work here, they're in college. They're either really young or really not old, but they're older than me. A lot of 56-year-olds. And then it's just like 20, like, 19, 20-year-olds work at this job. There's not many 40-year-olds. I'm 40. There's not many people who's like around my age who work at my job. So when you're a chosen one, everyone likes you. You think people don't like you, but people like you. You have the old heads who like you or who's gonna look out for you, and you got the young heads. I got the teens coming to me telling me shit. I got the old heads telling me. So I know that they're not lying. I know they're not lying. Like, one of the things that this woman said is that when I'm going on break, I don't tell people I'm going on break. What? Who does that? Why would I walk off and not tell somebody I'm going on break? Who the hell do I? I'm not a manager. Who the hell do I? What I think I am to do that? That's not my character. I understand that I have a very powerful energy, and I'm never going to water my energy down. I understand I have an authoritative energy because chosen ones are supposed to have an authoritative energy. I'm not a pushover. And that was the thing about it. That whole meeting was, you need to chill out because we're manipulating them, and you know what's good. You know your worth. You know how to carry yourself. You're not going to let us talk to you like a slave or like a dog. And we can't have you being a good influence on them and knowing their worth, because that's the only way we can make a work environment work, is by treating them like slaves. That's what that was about. And this is why, as a chosen one, it's best to have your own business or maybe work from home, family business, you know. And if you're going to work at these work environments, you're not going to last there, guys. You know, I'm not going to last there. I've been there for like almost, 7 months now. I'm not going to be able to stay there. Because especially after that meeting today, they know I'm not the one. And she's going to be pissed. I told her, I said, why does everyone have a problem with you? Why? You know, I don't have an issue with any of these other managers at the job. The men are just so easy to work with. But these two women, and you know, it's just demonic. It's demonic. And it doesn't even need to be like that. This is not even a corporate job. This is not even a corporate job that these people are using manipulation tactics, fucking mind games. You know, you really thought that she was going to go in that room and not come out and tell me? When she came out, that young lady, she's 19 years old, she was fucking crying. I came out the room laughing. I came out that room laughing. She came out that room crying because she's young and she doesn't have much experience, and she doesn't understand that that is demonic what they're doing. Okay? That coon talking about, oh, at this job, it's just do it like Nike. No, I'm not fucking just doing it. Absolutely not. I'm not going to do that. I don't care if I have to change my job 100 times a year. I'm not going to be treated the way that they think they're going to be treating me. Absolutely not. I will keep switching my job until my healing business blows up again, until my social medias start blowing up again to where I'm able to pay all my bills. No, you don't have to settle for these trash jobs, for these trash people, for these trash places. Absolutely not. And yes, I'm telling you, create a plan to escape, create a plan, stop job hunting. A lot of you, you know, you're married, or you own your own home, or you're renting, or you have children. I'm not telling you to just jump up and quit. I'm just telling you, like, to have an abundant mindset and to move on. But I am definitely asking y'all to, you say you can't believe I'm 40. Thank you. I'm definitely asking y'all to just pray for me. Like, my goal is to be out of there next month. I want to be out of there next month. And I was laughing because I was literally having to talk with God when I got off work. I was like, God, you gotta look out for me. I gotta get out of there. I'm just laughing because I'm just like, I'm not the fucking one. You think I hate that. They think that you're not intelligent, chosen one. They think that you're one of the other coworkers. They think that you're slow. They think that you're not up on their demonic game. And she was pissed because I don't care. I exposed her in that, that office. And once you expose someone, you already know they're going to play dirty. They're going to be looking for every little thing to fire me on. And I'm one of those employees. I'm not going to lie. I'm like always late. I'm late every week. They'll probably be like, oh, we have to let you go because you're always late. They're going to try to find something to fire me on because they cannot manipulate me. And that is the main reason why chosen ones do not last at these jobs, because they know you do not have a slave mentality. They know that you cannot be manipulated. They know that your energy is so powerful that you can influence people to do better in life. Your energy alone, okay? Just the way you move, just the way I move. And I'm not gassing myself up, but just the way I move, people are just like coming to me at work like, oh, do you know anywhere hiring? I'm like, why are you asking me that? Oh, you just look like you know that there's other places hiring. But I work here with you though. Your energy comes off like you can do better, and you know better, and you deserve to be in a better place. These people know that, okay? That's funny. One of the coworkers actually just texted me. Yeah, she's leaving. One of the girls is leaving. She put her 2 weeks into. I'm so happy. And this happens, guys. They notice that. They recognize that. Why are all these people putting their 2 weeks in? Huh? Why is everybody leaving all of a sudden? So when you get to these job environments, you motivate these people to do better. Why are these people that was there for years, I get there and now they talking about, girl, I put my 2 weeks in. I put my 2 weeks in. This happens at every job that I go to. And when I leave here, I'm calling corporate and I'm fucking reporting that bitch. Excuse my language. I'm going to report that hoe. And I'm going to tell them everything about her. And the managers that were good, I will put in a good word for them. She needs to be fired. She is disgusting. Another thing that happened at that job, I'm cool with him, one of the managers, but one of the girls that's leaving, he makes a pass at her. Like, dude, are you serious? First of all, this girl's like 19, 20 years old. This guy is like 37, 38 years old. Why are you trying to make a pass at this young lady? Why would this 20... Listen, these jobs are disgusting. These places are insane. They're crazy. I would love to be working remotely, but unfortunately, the relative that I live with, they are retired. They're home most of the time, and they make a lot of noise. I don't know. I would have to find some like sound canceling headphones or something like that to get through it. I'll see what I can do, what another job that I can find. But after today, guys, your girl exposed the narc. Your girl exposed the demons. They didn't even know I was coming out there with smoke, bullets was flying. They wasn't ready. They had to fucking lie. They was not even ready for what I was about to say. That they had to stoop to lying. And this is what's going to happen. These managers are going to be lying to you to cover up their tracks. And they were so nervous, they was laughing. And then the kiss ass, she's going to say, oh no, pointing to that manager she defended her, talking about, I thought that too. I thought that she was being aggressive, but she's not being aggressive. She's just telling you, she's just directing you to do something. And you're taking it like it's aggressive. So now you're fucking gaslighting me. Let me show you how she talks, right? So I've been a manager before. So when I was a manager at a daycare center, I would go to somebody and be like, hey girl, can you do X, Y, and Z? Or like, can you clean the bathroom? Or can you help with lunch? Or like, let's do it together, right? That's how you talk. She comes out of her office and body language. She tries to use this intimidation tactic with her body language because body language is very powerful. It's something that I use. It does work, you know, but I only use it with certain individuals, right? It is more like a protection thing that I use. So she'll come out the office and she'll just stand there, and she does that too. She'll stand behind you while you're talking to a customer. Your weak bitch ass energy does not bother me. You standing behind me does nothing for me. It actually is annoying. You're not making me nervous. You're not making me scared of you. You're just annoying. Get away from me. That's how I feel. So she'll come out her office and she'll be like, oh, y'all just gonna be standing there talking? You can't go to another department and help them or fix up or do this or do. What is all of that? Are you smoking crack? I'm a 40-year-old woman, and you think you're gonna talk to me like that? It's unnecessary. What are you getting? What are you getting from that? That lets me know you are a disgusting human being. You don't have to talk like that when you are an authoritative figure. You don't have to talk like that when you're a mother, when you're a father. You don't have to talk like that when you're overseeing some project or whatever. You don't have to talk down to people. Only weak ass bitches have to talk like that to people because they know their energy does not speak for itself. I don't have to talk like that to people because when I come up on the scene, they know not to fuck with me. They could read my energy. I'm not going to mess with her like that. They know that. So it also sometimes is a spiritual battle. It is a spiritual battle going on. She is intimidated by my energy. I remember one time when we were talking, I looked her dead in her eyes. And I have very piercing, powerful, big eyes, okay? And she started twitching. That demon in her was shook. So they're trying to make it seem like I have a problem with authority. I don't have a problem with authority. My problem is I have a problem with authority talking to me like trash in the street. That's what I have. I take direction very well. And that's what it is. They want you to take direction, but they want to use scare tactics and disrespect so you could be scared of them. That's not a great leader. A great leader can talk nicely and people are still going to respect you. But you got to deal with these weak ass, bitch ass spirits who feel they have to use manipulation tactics and demonic tactics to be a boss. And this is why you don't belong in these job environments, because you expose all of these people. You shine the light on these individuals. Hey, Tabitha. Thank you, Tabitha. Tabitha sent me a big donation when I was in Mexico. Thank you so much, love. I appreciate it. Oh, wow. All my favorite people in here. Y'all really caught me tonight. Thank you. I'm surprised y'all not out having a good old time on a Saturday night. Paradigm says, right. When you're free-minded, you can't be controlled and you have influences happens. Yes. Alicia, is it Alicia or Alicia? So Alicia says, oh yeah, Alicia, I wanted to tell you, I saw your Instagram. You have some very beautiful eyes. Alicia says, yes, we spend too much time at our jobs to hate it there. Exactly. You spend more time at your job sometimes than you do with your own family. No way that anyone should spend that many hours feeling like crap. Guys, I've already been back. When I was in Mexico, I didn't drink much. I just got back Wednesday and I'm already drinking wine. This job is making me want to drink. Okay. Tierra said when you go off on them, they sorry or they didn't mean it like that. Exactly. Rhonda says chosen ones can see straight through the BS. Exactly. Real says we are going through the birth pains, so a lot of people are giving us a hard time. That's true. Tim says light exposes darkness. Real says the energy is very intense. It is. I didn't expect to come back home to this bowl. I did not. I mean, a lot has been exposed and I am exposing a lot. But I just have to go through it, you know? A lot of weird things. I'm going through a lot, guys. I am. But it's weird. It's like I'm going through a lot, but I'm so overwhelmed and I feel so freaking blessed. And I'm optimistic, you know? Paradigm says, I can't see myself working a job for long. I'm too free-minded and self-reliant. Yeah, I understand. I feel the same way. I could do it for a while, but I can't do it for long. And it's also showing me that I grew spiritually. Click like on the chat for me, guys. It also shows me that I grew spiritually because in 2019, from 2017 to 2019, I had worked at a trash job. And, you know, I even got sick while I was there and stuff like that. But here I am at this job. I'm only there for 7 months so far. And it's like, it's not working out. So sometimes it's, you know, you go through these experiences to show you that, you know, you're growing spiritually. You say go to the beach. What state are you in? Our beach is not open yet. I live in New York. I just was at the beach. I went to Mexico last week for 8 days. So I did go to the beach to release. But yeah, I gotta figure something out. I have to figure out, should I make another YouTube channel? What do I do? Do I start doing hair again? Like I have to figure out how I'm gonna bring in money to try to avoid working somewhere else again, you know. But we'll see. Or I'm gonna have to manifest a 9 to 5 where it is not toxic like this, pretty much. Nick says you got it. You got that energy is remarkably extraordinary. Wow, thank you. When you're chosen, they can't take it due to the feeling naked. Oh, that's a perfect description. When we come around, because we reveal who they are. You on point, Nick. That is true. That is so true. Yeah. I I just keep laughing because when I got out that office, you know, and then, you know, that narc coworker of mine, she was like, what happened in there? I said, what happened is you won't be seeing me. And she's like, oh God, you're leaving too? You know, she's been there. I think she's been there before. I think she came there like in 2020 or 2019, you know, but she's a kiss ass too, you know. And the evil manager, she was like, oh, but y'all are just standing there talking. I'm just like, that's not true. That is so not true. And I'm glad that the coon manager stepped in and he was like, you know, let's be realistic here. We all talk. Like, we all talk. All we ask is that y'all don't talk in front of customers, and that's it. Everyone talks. This bitch is literally trying to silence me. She's done this on every shift. I can't even say, and I said this, I was just like, I could turn to someone and be like, hey, can I get a piece of gum? And she'll be down my back like, oh, y'all need to be having a conversation. But she's down there talking about her son. She going to concerts. Where she go shopping at? Oh, so you can talk, but you gonna tell me I'm not allowed to talk? I said, you picking and choosing. Oh, no, I'm not. I said, yes, you are. You picking and choosing. See, I remember when I was a manager, there was some, I remember like it was at a daycare center. So during the summertime, we would have summer youth workers. So we would have teenagers who would come help us during the summertime, and the city pays them, right? The state or the city pays them. So there was some teenagers that I didn't like. Me not liking you is not going to make me mistreat you. But you see, this is what these bitch asses do. Because she doesn't like me, she thinks she's going to mistreat me because she's in the power to mistreat me. And I'm checking her for it. No, I don't like her. Do you think I mistreat her because I don't like her? Because she's my boss? No, I just don't fuck with you. So you don't like me for whatever reason. So you think you're going to talk down to me? You think you're going to hush me? I can't even have a conversation with my coworker. But yet you over there talking about your son and where you shopping at. And let me tell you something. She likes to send people on errands for her. She sent that kiss ass to the grocery store to get her lunch. You see? So that's what it is. You know you can't run me like a little slave girl, a little black slave girl. But yet you can run her. You can run other people, other coworkers, but you know you can't do that to me. I'm not gonna be your errand girl. Your scare tactics are not working on me. So now I'm public enemy number one now. So I'm not gonna be able to stay there regardless, because now I got an X on my back. But I'm proud of myself that I released that. And I just said to them, okay, there'll be improvements. I didn't tell them what kind of improvements, because the improvements is I'm leaving. Oh yeah. She actually basically in the meeting, she asked me to quit. Oh, I don't think I told you that part. She goes, well, it's a revolving door. Nobody is begging you to stay here. Oh, really? I want to be like, really, bitch? So basically you're telling me to quit. She told me in that meeting, quit. That's what she told me. So when I put my 2 weeks in, I'll make sure I'm going to wait until she there, and I'm going to say, oh, you got your wish. I'm putting my 2 weeks in. Happy now? And I'm going to walk out the office. And I really wanted to tell her, did you know that young girl today that they pulled her in the office too? She's quitting because of you. People are quitting because of you. Do you know how powerful? Do you know how nasty that woman has to be, that people are literally quitting their job because they do not want to work with her? And she's only one manager when there's probably about 2 other main managers. There's like 3 main managers, and there's a couple of assistant managers who probably make like $2 more than me. And I know it's sad. The kiss ass lady, she's coming to me telling me about her housing problem. And I'm just looking at her and I said, wow, God is so good. This lady is trying to get me fired and she can't even afford a fucking house. But I'm blessed with a house. God has given me a house that's paid off. And she's sitting there telling me, oh, my landlord, my birthday just passed. She's an Aries, by the way. The kiss ass lady, making all fire signs look horrible, okay? Because most fire signs are not kiss asses. So she said, oh, I couldn't go out to celebrate my birthday. She's a married woman too, by the way. She said, I couldn't go out to celebrate my birthday because right before my birthday, I found out my landlord's selling the house that we're renting, and we have 3 months to move. And I have been saving all my money from this job so I can buy a house. And I was sitting there like, God is so good. Here you are trying to get me fired, and I got something that you wish you had. Ain't God good? Chosen ones, you will be blessed and you don't even realize how blessed you are. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, wow, this woman, I got something that she wished she had, and she's trying to get me fired. Unbelievable. And I said, oh, okay. I said, I said, don't worry, you'll get your house. I even spoke life into her life. I spoke life into her. I said, "Don't worry, you'll get your house." She told me she want to move to Ohio. Her brother bought a house in Ohio. It cost $150,000, and she want to go to Ohio too. But it's looking like it's going to take her another 2 years to save up some money to buy a house. And I'm just like, wow, unbelievable. I feel very blessed. God is good. And the same thing happened. God, the same thing happened, guys, when I was in Mexico. I don't know if all of y'all know this, but I have booked a Airbnb. So I wanted to stay at 3 different places within the 8 days, which I did. Hold on, let me go to the comments to see were y'all saying anything. Tabitha said, trying to control you because you get attention without trying. Hi, Lottie. Hey, girl. Tabitha said, please let them fire you and you collect unemployment. Do the bare minimum. That's what everybody keeps telling me. Everybody keeps saying, let them fire me, let them fire me. That's what my ex told me too. My ex said, let them fire you, let them fire you. I'm telling you, man. That's a good idea. Woo. Oh my God. So I was in Mexico, guys. Let me tell y'all this story because some of y'all didn't know. Alicia said good. I wanted to hear the Airbnb story. I missed it. Okay. So as some of you guys know, I was in Mexico for 8 days by myself. See, I'm alive, guys. I made it. It's me in the flesh. I got so many comments saying like, be careful. I hope you're okay. Guys, God had me covered. I only felt a little unsafe one time, and that was when, well, 2 times, only 2 times actually. The first time I felt unsafe in Mexico was when I was in the Uber, and the Uber driver was asking, can he kiss me? Can I be his girlfriend? Can he come to my hotel room? And I was just like, bro, what? And I had to just use my smile and my charm to make sure I got out that Uber safe. They don't do that to you here in New York. They're respectful. I guess because you can actually report motherfuckers here in New York, but they do a lot of sketchy stuff um, in Mexico, pretty much. Whew. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me put my donation information as well because I've been talking for almost an hour. Anybody who wants to donate to me. But yeah, so I went to Playa del Carmen, so that's like an hour away from Cancun. So the first hotel was fine. The elevator was broke the first day. I blamed it on Mercury retrograde. It was like a little like mishaps. My toilet broke. They came and they fixed it. It was just like all these little things kept happening. But the first hotel was beautiful. They had a beautiful rooftop pool. I don't get in pools, but I sat up there for a little bit to tan and stuff like that. That was cool. Then I went back to Cancun and I stayed at a hotel that was kind of like downtown. It wasn't in the hotel zone where like all the resorts are at, because your girl ain't got no $3,000, $5,000 to be staying for 8 days in no hotel, in the hotel zone. So I stayed like more downtown, like a little bit closer to the airport. And it was cheaper, where those hotels were like between $40 a night to $100 a night. So that the second hotel was fine, but it was just gloomy and it didn't have a refrigerator. That was something I did not like. So then when it came time for me to book for the last 2 nights, yeah, Monday and Tuesday, yes, which was this week. I can't believe that all this shit happened this week. I was like, oh, you know what? Let me get an Airbnb so it'll be cheaper. I'll have more money to, do what I need to do. My money was dwindling. And I went on Airbnb and I found this Airbnb and I was just like, oh, this is going to work. Guys, be careful when you're in Mexico. I would not suggest that you book an Airbnb in Mexico unless you're in a more bougier part of Mexico. So I know people who've gone to Tulum and they booked an Airbnb in Tulum and it's like a luxury mansion. Okay. I've stayed in Tulum before and I had no problem with the hotels, beautiful resorts, beautiful luxury hotels, beautiful Airbnbs. Okay. But downtown Cancun, I suggest you don't do it. They lie, they Photoshop the photos, and also keep in mind that in other countries, they're not like Americans. We're used to certain amenities. We're used to a certain look. Okay. So when I got to this Airbnb, I told my homegirl, I don't know if she's in the chat, when I told my homegirl about this Airbnb, she was cracking up. She said, "Girl, what? This did not happen." I said, "Yeah." I said, "See, if I didn't have any photos, none of y'all would have believed this, but this really did happen." So when I pull up to the Airbnb, I don't know if the photos are in this phone. Oh no, it's in the phone that I'm on, so I can't even show it. Damn, that sucks. So when I pull up to the Airbnb, I noticed that the Airbnb is on top of an auto body shop. So, first of all, the Uber cannot even find the Airbnb. He drove across the street and there was a Home Depot. So it's like a Home Depot and a couple of other like stores and stuff. So it's across the street from like an expressway in like a shopping plaza. So he's like, "You going to Home Depot?" I'm looking at this man like, "Yeah, I'm going to Home Depot with this luggage." I was like, "No." I looked across from Home Depot and I said, "No, I think the Airbnb is over there." So he said, "Okay, cool." So he drove around and then he drives me up to the Airbnb. And that's when I noticed that the Airbnb is literally above an auto body shop. So there's men out there, y'all laughing at me. There's men out there who's working on cars, they cranking up cars and stuff. And I'm like, universe, stop fucking playing with me right now. Are you kidding me? So there's like this little side door and there's a lockbox where I have to put the code in to get the keys out to go up to the apartment. He said, "Glad it all worked out, but had an instant feeling that place was not going to be good when you said you were going to leave the hotel to go." Just in my intuition. Oh my gosh. So, as I'm going to the lockbox and I'm putting in the code that the woman had sent me, she pulls up like, "Hey, mommy, I'm Maria. You was talking to me, da, 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 whatever." And I'm like, "Hey, Maria." She was pretty Mexican lady, pretty eyes, everything. She was very nice. I will never say the hosts were not nice. They were very communicative. You know, she was very pleasant, very nice. She even told me I can come 3 hours early. I pulled up like around 12:30 in the afternoon, 1 o'clock, and I wasn't supposed to check in till 3. So she told me from that morning. We were actually talking at like 7:30 in the morning, and she told me I can come like right now. And I was like, right now? I should have known something was sketchy because I looked on the Airbnb and noticed that they had no bookings for the whole month. They was not even getting bookings. And as soon as she saw my booking, she accepted it immediately and was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." You know, in Spanish, she's like, "Thank you so much for booking with me." And it was like $80 to book there. So I was just like trying to save money, you know, but it was not worth it, guys. Right. So she goes in, she puts the code in, she takes the keys out, and she's like, "Here you go, you know, apartment number 32. And when I look, so I'm like, 32. She said third floor. I'm like, I gotta drag my bag up to the third floor. So I go up to the third floor, and when I get up there, the front door looks like a bedroom door. Even the front door that I had to get in to get to the steps, to go up the steps to get to the third floor, it looked like a bedroom door. I did post the photos in the community side of my YouTube, but I had deleted it. I might post them back up later so y'all can like look at the photos, those of you who missed the story. So so I get to the door, and I'm playing with this door for like a good 5 to 7 minutes. I cannot get this door open, and that worried me because I'm just like, I'm thinking about when I go out at night and I'm coming back to the building. So now I gotta run, put my key in that front door, lock it back, because when you go back in, it doesn't lock automatically. You take the key, lock it back. Then I gotta run up the stairs, run up the stairs to the third floor, look around, make sure no one has followed me or hiding behind this long hallway. Then there was a gate with some barbed wire. Okay. Then I'm gonna have to jiggle with that door, and that door's already not opening immediately. Then I have to run inside and lock it. I'm thinking like all the worst case scenarios possible. And I was having a panic attack, guys. I was like, I can't stay here. I cannot stay here. I don't have a knife with me while I'm here because you can't bring any weapons with you on the plane. And I'm just like, I cannot stay here. There's no way I can stay here. So I'm like, all right, let me just try to walk around the apartment. Let me feel the energy. And you know how you're an empath, so you feel everything. So all of my spidey senses are like heightened. I'm feeling sick. I'm feeling nervous. It's not even a good feng shui. The apartment looks like something you would probably find like in the South Bronx, in the projects, probably in the 1990s. Like that's what it was given. I went in the bathroom and they had like a Dollar General shower curtain. No liner, just the just like the little plastic curtain, and that was it. I lost it. Then there was like a fuse box, and it had like on the Airbnb, it was just like, oh, if you lose power of the air conditioner, switch over to this. And I'm just like, wait a minute, I'm not gonna be on vacation fucking with somebody's fuse box. Are you kidding me? No, I'm not doing this. Like, I was just like, no, I'm not doing this, right? You said, I feel everything. It looks scary. Woo. Okay, you saw the pictures, right? Yeah, I hear about these scams even here in the States. Some places are just not what they claim. Exactly. ... It says, yes, be careful in the taxi. I was small with my sister in the taxi, said, give me more money or you're getting out. Glad you're well. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Lottie says, fascinating stories from holiday areas. It's good to stick together as ladies to be watching out. I would love to see the pictures. Yeah, I'll post them afterwards. So I'm in the Airbnb. I'm walking around. I told you like they had a fuse box. The bed, like it looks so nice on the website, and then like in person there was like random stains on the sheets. The paint on the headboard of the bed was cracked. It looked like so old. um it was like grease stains, like where people be cooking. It was just so old fashioned. The most updated items in the Airbnb were the television and the air conditioner. Everything else was old. Like it looked like something like, they'll put someone, like if they were homeless and they had nowhere to go, like they probably would put them in a place like that. And honestly, listen, I'm not from the hood. I'm from New York, but I'm not from the projects. I'm not for the hood, and I'm never going to pretend that I am. And it's not that I'm bougie, but I didn't even grow up in apartments like that. I didn't even hang out with people who lived in apartments like that. So why the hell would I go on vacation and stay for 2 nights in a place like that? No. So because of that, I did not plan for this emergency. So that is a lesson for me. I actually probably need to see like if I can get a credit card or something like that. And always have emergency money when you go on a trip, especially if you are alone. Always have emergency money. And I'm so thankful for you who did donate. because a hotel that I booked, it ended up costing $130 more that I did not have. Okay. Plus I had to take an Uber there. So that's $140. Okay. So understand that that money was used for my comfort. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody who did donate. I think it was 5 people who ended up donating. Thank you so much, because y'all saved my ass. All right. Be very careful. You know, you don't want to be in situations like that. There's people who, they don't have a platform like me. They don't have, you know, a soul tribe who love them, who appreciate them, you know, where y'all do have funds where y'all can bless me. Everyone doesn't have that. So I was very blessed to be able to ask you. So I don't want you to think like, you know, I need that money to go party or something. It was nothing like that. It really did happen to me, and I have photos to prove it. Yes, I saw the pics, but knew it wasn't good before you showed us. I sensed too much. I only had prayers, so it was praying. Thank you so much. I'm telling you, it happens, you know. And another thing, I will never plan a trip around an eclipse or around Mercury retrograde ever again. I will never ever do that again, because it really causes a lot of chaos. Okay, it really did. It impacted the weather. It rained a lot while I was there. You know, people trying to like overcharge me for things. You know, that financial situation happened. My toilet broke. You know, the elevator was broken because, you know, Mercury retrograde messes with the technology. People don't believe these things, but these things really do happen. I did have some turbulence on the plane, but I'm alive. The plane didn't crash. You know, on my way back, oh my gosh, there was a lady on the plane, guys, and she stunk so bad. I mean, the funk, I'm sorry. If y'all get squeamish, leave the chat for a second, because I got to tell y'all this story. This lady was so stink, and the funk was coming from her behind and her vagina. I have never, it's been years since I smelled someone that bad. She funk up, at least it was about a good 6 rows of funk. People were sitting in their seats that they paid for to fly like this. Like this. Because her punani and her booty was stinking. And she was with her husband. Bro, don't tell me you can't smell that. Don't tell me. He looked concerned and embarrassed. He was looking around at everybody while everybody was doing this. When the plane landed, the 2 people that was sitting next to his wife, they hopped over her. They hopped out of their seat. They couldn't breathe. Ain't no reason why. Keep in mind, we're coming from Mexico. So you mean to tell me you spent days in Mexico on vacation with your punani and your booty stinking like that? Guys, it was bad. All right. She was a heavy set lady. She was like maybe my weight. You know, I'm 250 pounds. She's probably about 250, 300. You big and stank. Guys, it's terrible. It was terrible. Big and stank. It was horrible. She got an infection down there. She definitely got an infection. She definitely has an infection down there. She needs something. She needs to soak in the tub with some apple cider vinegar and probably a little cap of bleach. That's how stink it was. She's got to go see a doctor. And she was just talking all regular, like, oh, honey, when we get home, you know, what do you want me to cook for you? Do you want to go out to eat tonight, or you want me to cook for you? And I'm like, don't worry about no cooking tonight, because down there is cooking. Oh my, I can't. I just, oh my God. How is your booty and your coochie funking up 6 rows on an airplane? The woman had a nerve to drop something and bend over. Guys, she bent over. And me and the girl next to me, we didn't have nobody in the middle of us. We was like, whoa. Like the front went. Whoa. I haven't smelled nothing like that in years. He's got to be used to it. That's her husband, unless they're not intimate, or he must be so immune to her funk, because he kept looking around like, what's going on, brother? What? Woo! Guys. I'm telling you, it was bad. It was so bad. My locks is bothering my neck. It was so stank. I could not believe it. I was blown away. If you got somebody in your life who smells, please tell them. And I'm gonna tell you, ladies, this is how you know something's not right down there, right? If you go into a public bathroom and you go to urinate, and then somebody comes behind you and they go into the stall and they walk right back out, your coochie stink. I stand there and watch. I actually was at work today and went to the bathroom. And on top of that, not to give y'all too much information, I'm on my cycle. Okay? My cycle's ending. So I have a reason to smell a little weird. And I went in the bathroom, used it, and I stood outside in the stall in the bathroom. A woman went in there. She didn't go, woof. She didn't do none of that. She went in there and peed. That means even on my cycle, I don't stink. Your blood shouldn't stink. Your vagina should not stink. We all have a scent, but there shouldn't be an odor coming from your vagina or your booty crack. So if people walk into the store and walk right back out, go see a doctor. That means that they cannot stand the scent, the odor coming from down there, and it might be a problem. Woo, man, it was disgusting. It was so bad that even when they got off the plane, now let me tell you what's so funny. So originally I was supposed to be sitting behind that lady. I had an aisle seat, and then there was a deaf couple next to me. The deaf couple was actually texting on their cell phone. My life is a movie, guys. So I'm sitting next to a deaf couple. They're signing to each other, and I'm like, okay, this is different. I haven't experienced this, but okay. And then the deaf couple, they started to smell that scent. They might have thought it was me. They probably was like, oh, she a big girl. Maybe she stank. It wasn't me, though. So they started texting on their phones, and they was giving me text messages. So before we landed, they said to me, the deaf lady texted me, and she said, let them get off first, and then we'll come behind them. Like, we don't want to be nowhere near them. Hilarious. It was such a funny experience, guys. I couldn't believe it. I let the lady and her husband walk. She was kind of limping anyway. And then after I just walked really fast. People was going, we had to go to customs to get out of JFK airport. People were just running. People were jogging past her because they did not want to smell her. Oh my gosh. You know you stink if you're behind people and they can still smell you. That is terrible. Yeah, her husband needs to be honest with her. And she's an older lady. I don't know. They look maybe about 70s, late 60s, early 70s. It's kind of hard to tell. And the husband, he didn't stink. Her husband actually was sitting in front of me. So I didn't smell an aroma coming from her husband. Her husband didn't smell. And her husband was handsome. He was a handsome white guy. He was tall. He's probably like 6'3", 6'5", slender dude. He had like a nice suit jacket on. He looked like he's probably a doctor or something. But bro, tell your wife she funky unless y'all into that kind of kinkiness. But no. No, y'all need to do that when y'all at home. If that's maybe because some people's into that funk and that's a kink for them, I hear, but not in public. Y'all do that at home where you tell your wife don't shower for a day or two. I like it musty. Don't be coming on a plane from Mexico stinking up New York City. New York City already stinks. Guys, this is unbelievable. What is wrong with people? Speaking of stink, something that I noticed when I was in Mexico was that New York stinks. New York stinks. The people in New York smell bad. That's what I thought too. I did look at her pants because she had like a short top on. So I said, well, maybe she has on a diaper that needs to be changed, but she went to the bathroom, so she didn't have a diaper on. I didn't see no padding or anything like that because I was like, oh, maybe she has a diaper on. But no, her pants were like those loose type of like gaucho pants, so I can see. And keep in mind, she bent her butt down near me, and I'm not being freaky or nasty, but I looked because I was like, maybe she has a diaper on. She didn't have a diaper on. I saw no padding. I could see like a panty line. Maybe. I don't know, guys. Her husband should have changed her pamper then. I call it a pamper. Her husband should have changed her Depends. Yeah. Ashley Banks says some people like to get that back blown out with that funk. It's so, yo, her back shot win was funky. NYC is not a place to be if you want blissful and harmonious lifestyle. Nope, it's not. So what I noticed when I was in Mexico and I was like on the bus with the Mexican people or in a restaurant, and even if they were sweaty, they didn't stink. That was just something that I noticed. I was just like, wow. But today, like I'm on the bus going to work, I was like, wow, New Yorkers, like they're so low vibrational. A lot of them, they stink really bad. I was just like, why are these people so funky? Like it was a bad stench on the bus and the train. They just smell horrible. I'm not gonna say which race or culture, but I don't think it's a mixture. It's not really one particular group of people, but it's just I noticed that a lot of New Yorkers stink. And I think like, dark spirits and low vibrational people, they really smell bad. And I noticed that. I didn't smell that. And then I was like, okay, maybe because of the breeze in Mexico, but I was like, no, like even no matter how close I got to like being skin to skin next to them, they didn't stink. They didn't smell. Besides like maybe like a Mexican man who was drunk, you could smell the alcohol on him. But like overall, they don't smell. It's just completely different. Like New York City really smells bad. Do y'all notice that? Like it stinks. The air stinks. You get on a bus, it stinks. Like the people's pores, like it's just coming out of their pores here. I noticed that. It's just it smells like a decaying scent. It is almost like people, like you could smell them dying. It's like, what is that? There's a lot of times where I'm like holding my nose, or when I'm putting a mask on, it's like people here are like dying. It's just, they don't smell good here. Yeah, it's hard. It's just, it smells like they're eating a lot of flesh. It smells like they're eating a lot of meat. It smells like they're sick. You know, I know this scent because I remember when my mom had cancer, like, you know, people who have cancer, they'll have like a scent to them. It's like a decaying smell. It's very hard. It's really bad, guys. The scent is bad. And I just take it like it must be something spiritual, and it could be the diet. And you know, like, I don't have the best diet, but I don't smell like that. Yes, Renee. Hi, Renee. Renee says like raw meat. Yes, yes. Okay, here's my information, guys, for my donations. And get those phone session bookings in too, guys. I appreciate it. Some of y'all haven't booked in a long time. Yeah, they just decay. It just smells like they're decaying. It doesn't smell good. Ignore this blemish on my nose. I ended up getting a pimple while I was in Mexico, and it left a blemish. Horrible. I'm gonna have to get some turmeric soap or something like that to remove that, I guess, because it will not come off. What else? Let me see. Gotta put this information here first. My PayPal and my Zelle is in the chat. Thank you in advance to anybody who can donate to me. Yeah, it's just a very distinct smell. It stinks so badly. I cannot explain this scent. Oh, guys, yes. Speaking of the whole eclipse energy, have any of you been having, I guess you could say, friction with people as well? Like, you know, are you arguing with people? Do you have like disagreements with people lately since the eclipse? I'm finding that I'm having friction with certain people. People's true colors are being revealed. You know, I had the conversation with the Scorpio guys. I let them know that I'm gonna be backing down. And I don't know how he feels about it. I'm not really sure. I asked him, is he holding anything against me? So one thing I'm noticing since the eclipse, I'm in my feelings, but I'm not in my feelings to the point where, are y'all in your feelings too? I'm not in my feelings where it's like I'm just creating things out of thin blue air. No, through thin blue. What is it? Thin. What is it? Blue sky. Whatever it is. I'm not just picking fights with people. I'm expressing my emotions. I'd rather tell people the truth because I don't want to have any animosity. You know, like some people can feel some kind of way about you, but they don't want to tell you that they feel some kind of way about you. I don't want to be in a predicament like that. You get what I'm trying to say? So if you feel some kind of way about somebody, think of a way that you want to express that. You don't necessarily have to say it in a nasty way, but tell them how you feel. Don't let things pile up. And this is something like as a Scorpio moon and as a Leo that I've done for many years. And I think a lot of chosen ones do this too. And I think it's because we are afraid of confrontation, but it's not really a confrontation. It's just that you're expressing your emotions and you're letting people know how they make you feel. And if they love you and if they care about you, y'all will be able to discuss it. Y'all be able to work through it. You know what I'm saying? Hi, April. That's being in your feelings. You fed up. Okay, absolutely not, says not in my feelings, just fed up. Yes, so maybe you're feeling aggressive. Maybe you're feeling, like you're just tired of motherfuckers, right? So what I mean by like in your feelings, you're feeling something. Are you feeling something? Is it aggression? Is it anger? Is it like I'm just done? you know and the title says, don't settle for jobs, people, and places, right? I just went through that, right? I told you about the trash job I got. I told you about the trash experience with the Airbnb. Imagine if I sat in that Airbnb, like, yeah, I guess I'll just stay in this Roach Motel for 2 days while I'm in Mexico, even though I worked my ass off for 6 months to be on vacation. No, we're not doing that anymore. We're not settling for these trash jobs and not settling for these trash ass people, friendships, romantically, bosses, whoever, neighbors, whatever. And we're not going to settle for trash places either. So that means that if you feel that the city you in is not working for you spiritually, then it's time for you to start looking for a new city to go to. Even if it's the next town over or another country or another state or whatever, we have got to think abundantly and we have got to learn how to manifest and believe that we deserve more. More. If we don't believe that we deserve more, we're not going to get more. We're not. And don't be afraid to tell people how they make you feel. Don't be afraid to put your boundaries down. I posted something in the community section and it was saying how the post said evil people can pretend to be nice, but nice people can't pretend to be evil. I think that post went over a lot of people's heads. It doesn't mean that everyone is not capable of being evil, right? To me, that post means is that no matter how evil people are, when you are a genuine person, when you are a person of light, you're not going to go to evil tactics to combat people. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You're not going to do that because it's not in your nature to do that. Having boundaries, sticking up for yourself, and wanting better for yourself, those are not evil tactics. And I think people think that by saying no or don't do that, don't talk to me like that, these are my rules and my regulations. No, you're not going to fuck with my energy. That's not being evil. There's nothing evil about that. Okay, they're using evil tactics to deal with you, but what your job is to do is to protect yourself from those evil tactics. You get what I'm trying to say? And Rhonda says that post was deep and on point. And I understand everyone's going to interpret the post differently, but I think it kind of went over a lot of people's heads. They was writing a lot of deep think pieces, and I was just like, that's not what I got from the post, you know. But yeah, you can go to the community section to see that post. My sort of view says I'm a Sagittarius with a Scorpio, Mercury, Mars, Uranus. Woo, a lot of Scorpio energy. So I actually let stuff go at times, but when I go off, it's a wrap. Been plotting to go off on a Cancer, but guy keeps stopping. Well, when you finally do go off on that Cancer is going to be in their feelings. I just want to let you know that. Lottie says, yes, that is deep, very deep. I can't pretend to be evil. No, you can't. You can't. I told you. Yeah, I ever seen that? I have a video on here that I did years ago called like the narcissist brings the evil out in you. And I told this story about how, after my grandmother was, the not grandmother was like, being very evil to me, giving all these narcissistic tactics, I actually was going to burn our house down, right? But God stopped me from doing it. Those type of things are not in your nature. Or like, for example, there are people who they got tied up, they got abducted or from their molester or rapist or something, and they had to end up killing that individual in order to be free, right? And some of them even did jail time because of it. That doesn't make them evil. if you had to kill somebody to survive, that doesn't make you evil. That makes you a warrior, so I don't think that makes you evil. What makes you evil is that from the beginning you are manipulating, you are doing these certain tactics, you were just being conniving and mistreating people and abusing people. That is pure evilness. Reacting to what somebody is doing to you does not make you evil. And most of the time, a person of light, they're going to use light sometimes to combat, and then there's going to be times where you have to use darkness. Using darkness is not always evil. Like today when I was in the meeting, I could have been like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I'll kiss your boot, master. I could have did that, right? But instead I said, no. Why every time we're on the shift with you, we got a problem? Does that make me evil? No. I'm responding to that person's energy. That doesn't put you as an evil person. So sticking up for yourself, having boundaries, and reacting to evilness doesn't mean you're a negative person. It doesn't mean that you're on the dark side. But we need both our dark and our light in order to survive. And that has made me very powerful. I am tapped into my light side and I'm tapped into my dark side. But I consider myself a light sided individual. That's what I consider myself. I don't use dark magic to, get what I want, pretty much. I choose to stick to the light side more, pretty much. But when I got to tap into that dark energy, I'm willing to. When I have to check a motherfucker, I'm willing to. And I think that all of you should be that way. You can't, even God was like, all right, y'all keep playing with me. I'm going to send a flood to the universe, to the planet, and I'm washing all y'all out of here. Is that light or was that dark? God used darkness, so even God is dark and light. Even God is feminine and masculine energy. So it's the yin and the yang. You need both. But dark doesn't mean evil though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too deeply. Oh boy, paradigm. I feel I've outgrown a lot of aspects of my life and moving on to bigger things. That's good. So you want a right path. That means you've been doing your spiritual work, because this eclipse energy and this Mercury retrograde is really shining light. Even with me, there's some aspects of me that I was just like, ooh, I thought I was over that. I am gonna have to talk to a friend. I don't know if she's gonna see this live, but I am gonna have to talk to a friend. I'm not gonna give any details, but a friend of mine asked me to play a position in her child's life, and I realized I'm not emotionally equipped to do so. And the reason why I'm not emotionally equipped to do so is because of my trauma. As a chosen one, I've had a lot of people get jealous whenever I was in their children's lives, right? And I realized I'm still traumatized by that. I'm still traumatized by people who had me around their children, and then when they saw that their children loved me, they abruptly disappeared on me. They ghosted me. um they got jealous and said, this is my child, you're not their mother, and you're not a mother, and you don't know what it is to be a mother. And in order to hurt me, they wouldn't allow me to see their child anymore. Okay, so I realized I am not emotionally ready to take on the position that this particular friend asked me to do. It has nothing to do with her or anything to do with her child. I love her, I like her, but I realized that I'm not emotionally ready to take on that role. And I think the only time I'm going to be able to take on a role to be close to a child is if I become a mother myself. I'm also hurt because I had to end my relationship with my niece. I was in her life for 16 years, and almost 2 years ago, I had to part from my biological brother and my niece. So I realized that I am still healing from those things that happened to me. You know, every time I get close to someone's child, jealousy comes into play. And I'm not saying that that's something that she would do, but that is my trauma that I have to heal from, basically. I don't know if any of you chosen ones have ever dealt with that. Ashley Banks says, I just been indifferent and totally unbothered. Yes, that unbothered energy too is very present after the eclipse in Mercury retrograde. Absolutely not. Like, I'm not getting back what I put out. Ooh, yes. Yes. Stop giving these people love. Stop giving these type of relationships and these friendships that people, they just cannot give it back to you. Like, just, it's just like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And that's why I had to tell the Scorpio, like, some days I feel like I'm talking to myself. And I said to him, you know, when you're ready to connect with me physically, reach out. And I will not be contacting him because I'm not going to be talking to myself some days. You know, it's like I'll text him and he won't respond. But then as soon as he texts me, he expects me to respond immediately. No, give people what they give you. Renee says, I'm emotional and I don't hold back anymore, but I'm tired of arguing with people. Don't argue with them anymore, Renee. Let it go. Give it to God. Let it go. Because if you're arguing with people, that means that they're not making changes or you're not making changes on your end. There shouldn't be an argument. There should be some resolution there. There should be some changes there. You feel me? You know, telling people over and over again what you don't like, how you want to be treated. No. Maybe tell someone twice. But people who love you, who care for you, they'll make these changes. You shouldn't have to put a gun to anyone's head to make changes or to put effort in your friendship and relationship with them. I don't know what the case is going on, but that's just what spirit told me to tell you. My assorted views. Okay, I read that one about the Cancer. Hey, Cassandra. April, yes, I do. Ashley Banks, I'm a true Sagittarius. We don't got time to sit in emotions that don't serve us. We too sunny side up. And on to the next. We move on, but we don't forget. I'll say evolve Sagittarius is move on, but unevolved Sagittarius are a ball of chaotic emotions. My dad was a Sagittarius and he was a ball of chaotic emotions. And I've had some male friends also who were Sagittarius and they were a ball of chaotic emotions. So when a Sagittarius is unevolved, it's a lot of rage. They have a lot of rage, okay? They will wish death on people. They will wish sickness on people. They will go crazy, okay? They will hurt someone. Gotta keep in mind, there's a lot of Sagittarius who were serial killers, murderers, okay? And it's because they have such a powerful rage. Renee says, I want to be unbothered and also at peace. It'll come, it will, but you just have to deal with it. Deal with the It's okay. Sit in your emotions. I cried. I cried in the past 2 weeks. I cried twice in Mexico, and I've cried. It's only Saturday. I've cried once since I've been back from Mexico, and I'm not a big crier. I'm a person that can go months without crying. I used to go years without crying. Cry, release, feel through it, sit in your emotions. You know, people be like, oh, emotional intelligence is that, you know, I could just be like, whatever. No, emotional intelligence is someone who can actually feel their emotions. That's being emotional intelligent, not, you know, holding back your feelings, not covering them up, not going, yeah, I can just move on. No. feel through that shit. Feel through that shit, because all it's doing is just going to your subconscious, and it's going to cause problems later on. And then you're going to be like, why do I do this? And why do I act like this? Because you just stored that shit away. My sorted views. I feel you. It's not in my nature to hurt you unless you hurt me. Yep. It takes God to stop me, though. Cassandra says, I have Leo, Sag, oh, you're a Leo sun, Sag, rising, Cancer moon. It's not rooted in me. Other factors can create that within to protect yourself. That's true. Alicia says, right. Evil people have malicious intent. Yeah, exactly. Our intent is different. Renee, I'm in my dark feminine energy. That's good. There's nothing wrong with that. Your dark feminine energy protects you. Lottie says, that's being cool, Angelique. In your power, Angelique. Is a pure strength, sweetheart. Yeah, like we have to check ourselves, or we have to understand like where we are, and I'm checking myself. I'm in a place where it's like I can't give. Thank you so much, Lottie, for the $13. Thank you, baby girl. I'm in a place where I don't have enough to give. I don't. I just don't have it. I don't have it. I don't. And I'm not going to pretend that I do. My sort of views exactly. I will clear a room when I open my mouth. God has been teaching me to trust God and be quiet more. Yeah, you know, practicing silence too is very powerful. I'm gonna get off in 30 minutes, guys, only because I gotta take this hair out. This hair is so dirty. That sun beat down on it. It's so dirty. I need to redo it. I'm gonna go to that funeral tomorrow, guys. So I don't want to go. I'm going to be seeing people who I haven't seen in like 10, 15, 20 years. So I can't go there looking busted. Let me see. Cassandra says, but I have no intention to be malicious. When you're effed up to me, when I get quiet, I'll stay to myself. It's balance. It's true. Yep, there's times. My sorta says, yep, there's times God says, get them. In times God says, be quiet. Yep, very true. Silence sometimes is the key. Okay, Ashley's talking to Renee. Lottie says, I've been feeling during this massive eclipse that with the spiritual light of the eclipse and the light, I saw that some people must be putting some bad spells on me. Oh no, send that energy right back to them. Sounds mad, but I felt it. Well, you can always send that energy right back to them. Light your candle, girl. I don't know if y'all are into that, but you can light a black candle and you can write on a piece of paper a petition and write out or write a prayer out that if you feel that people are sending you bad energy, that all that energy will be returned back to them tenfold. Maya sort of says, oh my God, I had the same experiences with people and children and animals. I don't like babysitting or being around folks' kids. Yeah. Had experience with someone's animals too. Wow, yeah. Thought it was just my experience. Nope, it happens to all of us. Lottie says, I felt that there are some people that I don't know who, but some jealous, mean, and almost evil voodoo being put on me. I mean, when people are putting spells on you, your whole life completely changes. If you're not seeing drastic changes, it doesn't mean that they put a spell on you. Are your teeth falling out, your hair falling out? Are you losing your looks? Are you losing weight? Are you sick and you're going to the doctor, but they can't figure out what's wrong with you? Those are signs of like witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? It's very drastic signs. Your money is hurting, your relationships are hurting, like everything in your life starts to like fall apart. If you're not seeing those type of changes, then I wouldn't think that someone is doing magic on you. you know Um, so if you're not seeing those things, it may just be dark energy. It may just be gossip, and maybe they're just talking about you. That's something that you can control. If you're having some really horrible graphic changes happening in your life, then you need to find a spiritualist or a practitioner that can help you. And there's plenty of videos here on YouTube as well that can help you too, to return that energy back to sender. If you really feel like you're under some type of spell work, then you need to seek out, go to like a botanica in your area, but you got to be careful, or try to find someone that recommends you, because some people just take your money and they don't really help you. So be careful with that. Ashley Banks says, when you argue, it takes away your power. It sure does. I agree. Real says, Sag Moon is dangerous. Yeah, Sagittarius have a lot of rage. A lot of rage. Even Sag Suns. Cassandra says, oh damn, that's Sag rising. My moon is in Cancer. I'm a mother at heart. I just don't think it's in the cards for me anymore. Aw, how old are you, Cassandra? Very true about Sag and the serial killers. I think Scorpios took the cake and Virgos were either second or third to serial killers. Yeah, they are. I'm laughing because they're crazy. I'm very evolved Sag. I hear people tell me this. Okay, good. Oh, so you work with children. So those are your babies too. Even if you don't birth a child, those are your babies. Lottie says, how do we repel these people who send thoughts of hate, sneaky traps for us? How can we um good ones to protect ourselves? You really can't control, you can never stop somebody sending you dark energy, sending you these type of things. Like, people be sending me stuff all the time. Even people who I don't know send me dark energy, or jealous. They have jealousy energy. They're watching me online and they think my life is perfect when it's far from perfect. I feel a lot of this energy all the time, but I don't worry about it. I know that I'm protected, so I don't feed into it. I don't like, oh, someone's doing this on me, someone's doing. When you speak that and you're like, somebody is doing something to me, then you're feeding them the energy that they need. They need you to believe it. They need you to believe that whatever they're doing is working on you. They need you to fall victim to it. So that as you coming into agreement that they put something on you. Okay. Most of the time when I feel like I'm under heavy attack, I sleep a lot, I pray a lot, I listen to high vibrational music, I try to go on fast. I get really in my prayer closet and I get the praying. I do my candle magic. I use my black candle, my white candles, and I ride that wave out until that energy is shifted. All of that energy, I just send it right back to them. Okay, anything that you're doing to me will be sent back to you. Sometimes it can take days, sometimes it can take weeks, sometimes it can take months. Eventually that energy starts to decrease, because when they're sending these things, they have to continuously send that energy to you in order for it to last, in order for it to work. It's not something that they do and then your whole life is in shambles for the rest of your life. It doesn't work like that. It's something that they will have to continually send to you. But stop having an agreement. There's a lot of you don't be having those spells on you. These people are just talking bad about you. They don't even be having no spell work on you. But because you're coming into agreement, you keep feeding that energy. And a lot of times you could just feel people talking about you. You can feel people plotting against you, but it doesn't mean that it's going to work. Understand that you should have a spiritual team. Let your spiritual team know I need extra protection. But a lot of times I just have to ride that wave out and eventually it calms down. I don't feel the daggers anymore. Only one time in my life a guy actually was doing some real deep, he was Haitian dude. I have a video on YouTube about it, and he was actually doing some really horrible spell work to me. Even with that, I did a lot of things to make sure that, you know, I broke his spell, you know. He would do a love spell on me, basically, to try to get me to give him money and cook him food and do things for him and stuff like that. And I was able to break the spell. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the blessings to the funeral tomorrow. Yo, this is crazy. This, I gotta tell y'all some more tea. And this is such this eclipse Mercury retrograde thing is not over. So, you know, a lot of people from your past come back. I'm Tomorrow I'm gonna see people from my past that like I said, I haven't seen in 10, 15, 20 years, right? So I talked about this guy before. He lives in Canada, and he was the first guy that I loved. Okay, no one couldn't tell me nothing. I thought I was gonna marry this guy. Okay, we grew up together in church. I liked this guy probably from the time I was maybe, I'm gonna say, maybe like 10, maybe like 10 to like 16 or something. It was a long time. I liked this guy for many, many years, right? And he never liked me back, right? So, anyway, and I told y'all this story how he ended up marrying a girl who has my name. Her name is Angelique Renee, and my name is Angelique Renee. Scary, right? And he called me. He called me last night. He's in town. He flew in from Canada, and we were only supposed to talk for like maybe 30 minutes to an hour. We ended up talking to like 3:30 in the morning. And I found this conversation very interesting. And you know, I told him about what the girl that passed away, what she did to me, how she tried to sleep with my man, you know, when we were younger. I told him about a couple of other people who are going to be at the funeral and the things that they did to me. And he said, "How come you didn't tell me this years ago?" And I was just like, "I don't know. I think at the time he was away at college." And then we started talking about things that happened to me in my childhood. And he said, "I never knew you went through so much in life." He said, "It is so crazy how," this was deep. He's a Leo too. He's a July Leo. I'm an August Leo. He said, "You grow up with people, you're surrounded by people, but you don't know what people are going through. And I feel so full of myself that somebody I loved was going through so much alone." And I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, I keep asking you, how come you didn't tell me?" And I said, "Why would I tell you that? What could you have done?" He said, "I feel like I should have protected you." And I'm like, wow, that's deep. That's really interesting. And he kept saying, "You and another friend of mine," he kept saying, "Can you write this book? Your life is unbelievable. Write this book. Like, you are an amazing person. Like, you need to write this book." And I was just like, oh wow, I needed to hear that. But it's true. A lot of people do not know what chosen ones have gone through. And it's because we don't tell our story. We usually keep it to ourselves, right? People think you look great, you're beautiful, you're handsome. You make it look so good. You make your trials and your tribulations look so good. He was just like, "I thought you had a great childhood. I had no idea you were being abused." And I haven't seen him probably, no. This was probably back in 2019. I ended up having to get a biopsy on my womb, right? I'm not sure it was my ovaries, my uterus, but I had to get a biopsy done. and they put me under anesthesia. And I remember after the biopsy, this was back in 2019, he happened to be in town. I called him and he picked me up from the biopsy. And he didn't ask me. He was just like, "You're under anesthesia. Don't worry. I'm going to make sure you get home safely." He said, "Do you know from 2019, I kept thinking, what did she do when I'm not there? If she had to call me, someone who's doesn't live in New York, how does she survive with no one there to support her?" And I was like, "Yo, that's crazy." And I told him, I said, "God always provides someone to be there for me. Chosen ones." When you think about it, you think you're alone, but God always will provide someone to be there for you. So he said, "So from 2019, who's been there for you?" I said, "My ex-man." So from 2019, and I met my ex in 2020. So from 2020 to now 2024, it's been my ex who has stepped in, believe it or not, even though we only lasted to 2021. So even he, an outsider, recognized that I don't have protection like everyone else. I don't have friends like everyone else. I don't have family. He recognized this. That did make me feel validated that I'm not crazy. Like people can see the chosen one life. So if he can see this, guys, that means that people can see your life. People can see that you're alone and you're still surviving and you're making shit look sweet. Okay? He said I had absolutely no idea that you had to do so much alone and that you did not have support like that. I would have never known. If you didn't expose your lifestyle to me, I would have known that this is how you live. Ain't that crazy, guys? Oh, you still got time, girl. You'll be 37. You still can have children. I'm 40. I'll be 41 this summer. I still ovulate. I still have my cycle. I still can have a child. I just don't want to have a baby past 45. That's my cutoff time for myself. If I look this young and I feel this great at 40, yeah, I think I'll be fine if I do decide to have a child within the next couple of years. Lottie says, yes, relationships, animals behaving weird, dreams, I'll send them the energy back, maybe. Yes. Ask God to reveal who is sending the energy to you, Lottie, so that way you'll know where to direct the energy to. I normally know who's sending me dark, evil eye. You normally are going to find out who's sending you evil eye. Most likely, it's not strangers sending you evil eye. I get sent evil eye sometimes from people on YouTube, from people on TikTok, but it's not as frequent. It's mostly jealousy energy coming from people on TikTok or coming from people on YouTube. But ask God to reveal who is sending you this dark energy, who's sending you the evil eye, so you'll know who to send that energy back to. Ask God to send that energy back to them. Lottie says, this is so true, Angelique. They need to believe to seal the deal. Yep. And most of the times, guys, the people that are sending you dark energy and evil eye, you know them. Most of the evil eye comes from people who are close to you, people in your family, your lovers, and your friends, your neighbors. These people. Cute first love. Ashley says, yup, nobody knows. It's best that way. Yup. Wow, that's amazing coming from your first love. Yeah, I was just like, I was blown away. I was on the phone, like, in my bed, like, last night, like, what? is this a joke? Like, I thought it was like a joke. I was like, what is he talking about? And it was bittersweet because he's married, guys. This is a married man. He asked me like, "Oh, how come we don't talk more?" I said, "We don't talk more because you're married. You know, I'm respecting your marriage." And I told him it's not appropriate, regardless if we grew up together. It's not appropriate for us to have a friendship like that. Men and women, become attracted to each other, and he already made it known that he is attracted to me now that we're adults. He didn't like me when we were kids. He said he viewed me as a little sister because he's actually 2 years older than me. But when you're like 15 and he's like 17, or I'm 13 and he's 15, he was looking at older girls. He said he was always attracted to older girls, like in the church. He looked at me as like his little sister, and our mothers were like best friends in church. They were church best friends, not like outside of church. So he was like, "You would come to my house like after church and lunch. I would look at you as like a little girl." And I'm his younger brother's age. We're both born in 1983. So he looked at me as a little sister. And I said, "Okay, cool." He was like, "I never thought you were ugly. I always thought you were so pretty. It was just that I viewed you as a little girl to me." And he said he battled back and forth if he should date me. He said he did think about dating me at one point, but he said he just looked at me as a little girl. But he did try to date me. He tried to date me when I was 15 and he was 17, and I declined the offer. And because he was about to go to college anyway. So I was just like, what's the sense of us dating if you're about to graduate high school, you're leaving, you're going away for school? So I felt like he was just bored. Leos do that. Leos will date you, sleep with you because they bored. They like attention. April says, I don't either. You're real love. Absolutely. God always provides. Yup. Everyone don't deserve your attention and energy. So true. Aw, we need more feminine women like this. Oh, wow. Thank you. Trust me, I went through a lot. I used to be very masculine, because I had daddy issues, and a lot of women who felt abandoned by their fathers, they become masculine in order to protect themselves. So it's taken me many years to become feminine, and I still have masculinity to me, but I use my masculinity more to protect myself, to speak up for myself, to be assertive in business, at work. But I like being in my feminine. I like being soft. I like being able to rest. I don't like being argumentative. I don't like being in that energy, but I used to be in that energy because I was hurt by my father, by my stepfather, by my brother, the men in my family. So it took many years of healing in order to become the woman I am today. So trust me, you wouldn't have want to meet me when I was 20. I was a trip when I was 20. I would cuss a man out so fast when I was 20. I used to see men as like my enemy in a sense. But I just found that conversation with my first love, so to say, my first crush. He wasn't my first love, my first crush. I found that conversation to be so interesting. You never know how people view you. You know, I was thinking he saw me in a more of a negative light when he really didn't. You know, but I did put my boundary down and let him know, like, him and I can't hang out alone or anything like that, because he's a married man, basically. But I'm glad that he was able to open up to me. um But he just kept saying, like, if you ever need anything, let me know. And I said, man, you live in Canada. You live in a whole other country. Bro, what are you talking about? He said, I don't care. If there's ever anything that you need, just let me know. You would love to meet me. Where you live? I don't know what you look like. Where you from, Mega? Um, that was deep. That was a lot for me to process. I'm trying to process all of this. Take your time and whatever downloads you're getting, guys, process it all. Process it all. I'm just like, I'm blown away. And I'm sure tomorrow at this funeral, I'm going to be overwhelmed. I'm going to be overwhelmed because I'm going to have to see people who I am happy to see, but I'm also going to be unhappy because, it's a funeral. And I'm going to also be unhappy a little bit because I have to see people who betrayed me tomorrow, all right, who I was friends with growing up and they did me dirty. So that's going to be a lot for me. I'm glad that I'm off tomorrow and I'm off on Monday and I'll have to process it. But please pray for me, guys, that I don't quit this job by Tuesday. Please pray that I can make it another 30 days and that God gets me another job in the next 30 days. That is my manifestation, that I will be hired at another place in the next 30 days, but not just somewhere else, but somewhere that is a more healthier environment. Oh, you in St. Louis. Oh, thank you. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. You know, I don't know. I don't trust men like that. I'm very thankful, for my crush to say those things to me, but I'm very wary because, like I said, this is a married man with children, and I know I could tell he is attracted to me, and, got to be very careful with that. Got to be very careful with that because some people aren't happy in their marriages and they're looking for an escape. All right. I don't think he's unhappy, but he said something on the phone that led me to believe that he's not really sure if he made the right choice, pretty much. So I got my eye on him, but it's a good thing. He doesn't live in the country. He lives out. He lives far. Even though he comes here a lot, but still. But yeah, I will never hang out with him alone. you will be you will be good regardless, job or not. All right, Mega, speak that life into me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I feel good though. Like, I'm not sad that I might have to quit this job. I feel good about it. Get excited, guys. Get excited for your new job. Get excited for your new man, your new woman. Get excited for your new body you're going to work out for. Get excited for your new friends that are coming. Get excited for your new mindset. Get excited for your new life. Get excited for your new house, your new apartment, your new car. Get excited. It is coming. It is coming. It is coming. Okay? But I'm at 2 hours. I need to go take this hair out. I need to redo my hair. I need to bathe. I need to eat something. I need to process all this information that I just told y'all. I'm still processing it. You know, you said definitely rebound. I wouldn't say I'm a rebound because he's still married with 3 small children. I wouldn't say that. I think that this energy has this man reflecting on some of the choices that he made, and some people wonder, if I didn't marry this person, how would it be if I married her or him? But that's called shoulda, coulda, woulda. what you gonna do now? You're married with 3 children. What you gonna do? Divorce her? No, stick with her, brother. His wife is actually a very great woman. Nope. The universe has never let me down. It has disappointed me. It has tested me. It has disappointed me, but the universe has never let me down. It might have not happened in a way that I wanted it to happen, but the universe has never let me down. God has never let me down. I might have got dragged. I might have almost died. I might have been sick. I might have been broke. I might have been alone, but at the end, I always came out shining, and so will you. You did come late, Mega. You're gonna have to watch the playback. Lottie says you are a blessing to that job department. It was their loss. You are very positive and friendly to the customers. The eclipse energy is at your job. It is. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Yeah. I think we all are in that energy too. Some of us are thinking shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know what I'm saying? Even me, and it's a lot. So I had a lot, guys. Mexico, my ex told me he got a girlfriend now. The one person that I do want to be with, he's so broken because he broke up with a narcissist. This man who's married is telling me, damn, maybe I should have married you and not her. And what am I going to do now? What the? My job is trying to fire me, but I'm still smiling. And I got to go to a funeral tomorrow. Whew, boy, that's a lot. That's a lot. But you know what? I'm glad to be an example so y'all can see the end results of how God uses chosen ones and how the outcome ends up being. But thank you so much. I'm at the 2 hour mark. Thank you, Lottie, for the donation. Don't forget to donate to me if you can. Thank you to those who donated while I was in Mexico. I really love you guys. I appreciate you. Hopefully, you enjoyed the chat. And I don't know. I'll see y'all soon. If anything crazy happens tomorrow at the funeral, maybe I'll go live again and I'll tell you what happened at the funeral. All right. Anything weird happens, I'll definitely let y'all know. All right. Love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.